Okay. So, Governor Cooper, I obviously you just took a trip to DC with a lot of our local leaders here in Western North Carolina, requesting, I believe, more than $25 billion to keep helping in our Helene recovery here. What is the impact of sitting in the White House face to face with President Biden, and how do you hope that will help us here to receive that federal aid?
Well, not only do we meet with President Biden and his team, but nine federal agencies, our U.S. senators, several members of our House of Representatives. We met with budget appropriation staff in both the House and the Senate. We met with Senator Patty Murray from the state of Washington, who is the Senate Appropriations Committee, making sure that the whole country knows about the plight of Western North Carolina, how unique and unprecedented the damage is from this storm, and letting them know that this $25.5 billion ask is critical for Western North Carolina to be able to rebuild. We got a lot of positive response. We hope that they vote on this legislation before December 20th. You know how hard it is to get things moving in Washington. But I do believe that there, in Washington at least, there is bipartisan support for this. And we hope that it can happen very soon.
Well, and I kind of want to go off of what you were just saying with the bipartisan support. My colleague spoke with Mayor Manheimer before the DC trip, and she stressed the importance of the trip being bipartisan. Now, when you were there in DC, did you see that you obviously met with a lot of the congressional delegation who are Republicans? Did you see that people were able to put party aside to focus on recovery here, or are you seeing people still playing politics?
Well, in Washington, that's what people were telling us. And I think there's clearly been a lot of hard work. They know that these federal dollars are going to be critical to rebuilding the roads in such a way that they are future storm proofed as much as possible, helping to rebuild water systems with that future storm proofing in mind, rebuilding roads and bridges, and recognizing that Western North Carolina is so unique with an inland hurricane and its topography that we need more flexibility. For example, so many communities are connected by private roads and bridges, and most of the federal rules don't allow for tax money to be used very much in that way. There's some limited ways we are being able to use it now, but we know that we need a lot more. So we need some rule changes on those kinds of flexibilities. So there seems to be a real acknowledgement that we need to help significantly. I also went with Governor-elect Stein was with us as well because we know his administration will be taking over in January. We're also presenting all of this material and have sent all of this material to President-elect Trump and his administration. It's going to take all of us pulling together. And it's important to say too, and I'm saying this while I'm asking for uh, money for recovery, that a lot of Western North Carolina is open for business. And one of the great things that people can do is come to Western North Carolina and spend some money and enjoy some time there because now it's needed more than ever getting this economy started back up.
Absolutely. And I know we were just talking about the first snow that we received here in the mountains. And while it is pretty and great to see, I mean, since Helene, we have unfortunately seen a lot more people who are unsheltered, living in tents, people who don't have housing right now. Where are we at when it comes to getting more temporary housing here? And was that a part of the funding request in DC?
It is. And we want people who need temporary housing to file for FEMA assistance, disasterassistance.gov or 1-800-621-3362. We were talking to some local leaders about this. We know that mountain people love their homes and their lands, and there are many people who don't want to leave and are afraid to leave. I think it's important now as the weather gets cold for people to take advantage of this The government is not going to come in and take away anybody's property. This is not something that people need to be concerned about. We're worried about their health and their safety. And it's critical that people get shelter and get help during this period of time. I know they're working on getting more FEMA trailers, and some of them can be located on people's homes. That can get complicated with hooking them up to electricity and water and all of that. But I know a lot of that work is being done. But we want to make sure that people get the help that they need immediately. And yes, that's part of the request, but a lot of that help is available for people if they decide to take it, and we want to encourage them to take it.
And just wrapping up, on Wednesday, I know Senate Bill 382 was sent to your desk. Do you plan on vetoing that? And if so, why?
Well, it's a bad bill, and I'll be announcing that next week. But this is billed as a disaster relief bill when it actually was just a disaster. It really doesn't get money directly to Western North Carolina that needs the help, but instead it was used as a front, as another legislative power grab. It's why several Republicans and many Democrats voted against it, because it really didn't provide the help that they need. I've asked for $3.9 billion, and all this bill did was really move money around. It's so important for this legislature to step up and provide state funding now. Small businesses are making decisions about right now about whether they're going to open in Western North Carolina, and direct grants from the states, in addition to the loans that are available, could help them make that decision. Yes, we want to try to open back up, but we can't do it without the legislature appropriating the money.
Perfect. Governor Cooper, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate always getting to talk to you.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Look
you.